Oh, I've just been told by my team that they have all the contributors they need at the moment, but I'll keep your details on file as we'll be shooting a lot of game content for our upcoming BAFTA Young Game Designer Awards.
Oh no!
They're probably going to have some spotty little fucking rat kid that doesn't know anything about games. Yeah, I like The Last of Us. It was good because it was dark, but at the same time I could still see what I was doing and give us all a bloody bad reputation. Whereas I could have stood there like with my shirt off, putting oil over my body, going, "Yeah, The Last of Us. I really liked it." Because you know what else I love? I love kissing my girlfriend all over her body, and I could have made us all look quality.
The Gamecentral Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Game Central Lives podcast. We're up to number 8. And do you know what number 8 rhymes with? Yes, that's right, great. So that's just a little indication of what to expect on this weekly feast of gaming knowledge from some of the greatest minds ever to step on this planet. When it involves games, I think this game podcast is the most constant thing I've ever done in my life. Have you guys ever done something this consistent?
No.
Without taking like a sick day or, I don't know, crying or quitting?
Not really, no.
No.
Exactly. When you think we've done about 15 hours of just talking, it seems pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's one word for it.
And one day, Guy, when you're sitting with someone else's children, you can look back on this and say, look what I did when I was younger. Okay?
Yeah.
You may know them by now if you are a regular, but that still doesn't stop me doing a rather harsh and insulting introduction for these guys. And as I'm quite kinky and self-depreciating, I often involve myself during the introduction whilst looking in my front room mirror with bitch written across my chest in lipstick, but backwards so it reads right in the mirror. I don't want to look weird, so on we go. Someone else who enjoys nothing more than a good argument is Guy Whitlock. Only this week he has condoned drink driving, expressed his hatred of single mothers, and said that the country would be a much better place under a Soviet dictatorship. Where women were forced to talk to him, all other game companies apart from Nintendo were obliterated from the world, and he could have his own tank to drive around his local town drunk. It is Guy Whitlock.
Good evening.
Thank you. Our second linguistical audio personnel from hell has spoken to less hairdressers than Guy has spoken to women. That's very few. He cannot bring himself to sit in the hairdresser's chair and enter into banal, idle conversation. In fact, Gareth doesn't like to enter into much conversation at all, unless it's on the podcast. And if he feels that you are not up to his required level of interaction on Facebook, he will simply block you. In fact, if you find that he doesn't respond to your questions on social media networks, then you can safely presume that he has marked you out as someone who does not deserve his time or attention. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the hairy arrogance himself, Gareth Williams.
Hairdressers ain't free.
Hairdressers are not free, but growing luscious hair is.
Yep.
Guy, you've always seemed to have a nice head of hair on you. Do you keep that going?
No, I don't. What?
Do you go to the hairdressers regularly?
I don't go regularly enough.
No point. Right, next for me. Hi, I'm Rob Walker, the demon of gaming. From the years 2001 to 2008, I locked myself in my bedroom and didn't emerge until I drank all the knowledge that gaming had to offer. I emerged as a 28-stone bearded monster, and I did it for you guys, so I could be more informed when doing this podcast. Thank you very much. So we're going to go straight onto the podcast this week. I was an absolute mess, but I prefer not to go back into those days because they're behind me. And, you know, it started off when I was only 18 years of age to the age of 23. But I like to think I'm over that now and I've got no recurring side effects. Okay, so we've got a great today. We've got some news, a special appearance from another Nintendo fan, which I like to call a Nintendoid. We've got our retro game of the week, and we'll also be discussing what we've been playing. There hasn't been many games out lately. Maybe Guy can talk about what he hasn't been playing or what he was supposed to play, but he didn't. But anyway, it's been quite a stressful week in the news. What with the troubles going on in Eastern Europe, the fear that World War III could break out at any time. But don't worry, even in the event of a nuclear war, this podcast will still go ahead. Hosted by Gayev Witlokhanov and Jaromir Wilyanachekov. Unfortunately, I will not be here because I'll be too busy trying to route electricity into my fallout shelter so I can play my Xbox in comfort, whilst the world outside will be suffering from nuclear fallout and spouting free arms, but at least they'll be able to finally utilise the N64 controller. But we're not here to talk about news from around the world, we're here to talk about gaming. News! Okay, so we're on to news now, guys. And I don't know if you've heard about this in the news. It's just incredible. According to deputies with the Harris County Sheriff's Office, the website reports that Eugene Thomas lives at home with his girlfriend and said Saturday night that they got into an argument. That's when his girlfriend called her estranged husband who stopped by the house around 10 p.m. So you get into a fight. So they got into a fight there. So, guys, you get into a fight with your girlfriend, and she calls her estranged husband. Now, if you have a girlfriend who relies on her ex-husband to sort out your domestic disputes, it's hardly ideal, is it?
No.
Would you call your ex-girlfriend if you needed any help with your current relationship, Guy?
No.
What about you, Gareth? It's not the best road to go down, is it?
I wouldn't call my ex-girlfriend if I was on fire and needed pissing on.
Well, that's good. He'll be like, oh yes, hello Dan. Eugene is pretending to be Link again with his sword and I feel threatened. Please come over and speak to him. He listens to you more than anyone. You have that bond with him being my ex-husband and all. There is absolutely no way that you coming here will make this situation any worse.
Wait, his name's Dan?
No, that's just the name I made
Oh,
up.
I was going to say Danendorf.
Danendorf.
Oh,
That would have been too perfect.
Yeah.
oh no.
But anyway, apparently, Dan gets there and is greeted by Eugene wielding the Master Sword. Now, it's not the actual Master Sword. I must stress that this is purely a replica. The article claims that the estranged husband ran directly into the blade when chasing Thompson. Now, I'm no expert here. I'm no Dexter, crime scene investigation. But unless Eugene was running backwards whilst Dan running forward, then there is no way he could have run directly onto the sword whilst chasing him. Unless he was performing the ancient Japanese shame ritual, seppuku, then it's highly doubtful that happened. Have you ever got into a kind of love rival, Gareth? Have you ever had to go around an ex-girlfriend's house and sort out a domestic dispute while he's wielding a video game replica weapon?
No,
It's quite a specific problem.
I'm not very physical, not very imposing, so I don't think I'd do too well in that situation.
Would you sort of try and sort it out with diplomacy?
Maybe.
Rather, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Guy, just kind of imagine that you've had a girlfriend and she's invited you over. What video game weapon would you take with you to the fight?
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one. That's why I sprung it on you.
Partly because
It's a good generation.
I don't know. You've thrown me there.
What about the Blades of Chaos? Who Kratos?
No, I would probably take Cloud's Buster Sword
I don't think you'd be able to carry it, to be
because that's true. But if I
think
could
you'd be
carry it,
really
I'd look quite
pulling it down the road.
just drag it like Pyramid Head
Yeah.
from Silent Hill.
It's
Just
all she
drag
do
it
is
down the road.
go up her driveway. Oh, you better watch out now. Guy's coming with his sword. But that is an awesome level of geek, isn't it? You have an intruder in your house, and the first thing you have to defend yourself is a replica weapon of a well-known video game sword. Gareth, if someone broke into your room right now, what weapon would you reach for? Looking around your room, he's there. He's got nothing on his bottom half. He's sort of dancing in front of you, saying he's going to kill you. You could pick up the first thing that you lay your eyes on. What is it?
The first thing I would reach for, I've got like an egg made of marble, like a decorative egg-shaped marble.
That's strange,
It's pretty
because I've
heavy.
got a marble made of egg.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not much use when I play with it, because it just smashes all over the floor, but
So that sounds incredibly inconvenient.
it is. But, that's the story of my life. I just get all my things mixed up. But that sounds really nice. When all is said and done, both men escaped with minor injuries, and hopefully this will give Nintendo some ideas on the story of the next Zelda game. Zelda Domestic Dispute, coming to Wii U this January. Are you going to buy it, Guy?
This January?
Yeah, it's going to have realistic graphics.
By this January, do you mean it's
next
year?
January. Yeah,
Well,
it didn't come out a few months ago.
No, I didn't think so. That's why I was just checking. Well, I'll be pre-ordering that.
Zelda.
That's all I know.
You're going to pre-order it?
Yep. I'm not even that big a Zelda fan, to be honest, but, you know.
It will just be Zelda going around resolving domestic disputes in...
Now, when you say Zelda...
Yeah.
I'm assuming...
Oh, sorry, I mean Link, sorry. What a square error to make.
Oh... If only Rory was here.
I'm so glad you've played that game.
Of course.
Zelda won't be able to do nothing, she's female. And she gets...
Yeah, but she's like also sheep, so...
Does she get kidnapped, like Peach?
Yes.
She does.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Well, she needs to.
But then isn't she Sheik as well, who's kind of cool and quite kick-ass?
Only in Ocarina of Time.
Well, yeah, it's still better than... Peach never goes kick-ass in any of them.
She does in Super Smash Brothers. Boom!
God, are you going to try and fit that in every week?
I'm not going to try. I'm going to succeed.
Well, mate, you're doing very well with that. I'll tell you that.
It's my one area of unrivaled expertise.
Also that, and putting video game music in between our podcast.
Yeah, eventually this podcast's going to be 10 minutes of speaking.
Yeah, it's literally going to be... Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and the rest is just going to be orchestral scores, which would be nice, but it's too dramatic. It's like I was taking my dog out. I've got this little pug, and I'm out listening to the podcast, just taking him for a walk, and, you know, doing anything while the Halo soundtrack's in the background is just epic. You know, so he's walking along and it's going da 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 da, and then he starts doing his shit, and it's like a ship leaving the hull of this massive thing, and it's like it was the most epic dog shit I've ever seen. And I put that challenge to anyone. You try and do the most banal, benign, insignificant thing in your life whilst that song is playing, and it will seem absolutely incredible.
Well, you're very
But moving
welcome.
on from that, thank you, Gareth. It did make my dog feces and the eventual picking up of it seem a lot more epic, which I thank you for. Are there any other sort of songs that you can recommend for watching your dog do a defecation and then picking it up?
The Lord of the Rings soundtrack is always a good one.
That's a good one. I like the Batman soundtrack as well, because that starts off quite slowly but then builds up. I love that. Right, so anyway, Dishonored 2 is to be revealed at next E3. A mysterious image has appeared on the internet because revealing that there will be a reveal.
It's not really very mysterious, though, is it?
Wait, listen, this is my joke.
Oh, okay.
I can't just do that, guy. Well, a mysterious image has appeared on the internet, apparently revealing that there will be a reveal at this year's E3. We know it's a mysterious image because it looks like it was taken by a camera phone at an angle, so that makes it automatically mysterious. You know, you can't argue that it's mysterious, Guy, because it's just come out of nowhere. Guy, to me, it seems like you think this is some kind of conspiracy aimed directly at you.
What? It's not. I'm looking at it right now, and it says Dishonored 2. Witness the full reveal at E3 2014.
Which anyone could have made, couldn't they? But it's become news, Guy, and I don't know why. Don't argue with me. Don't blame
It's
me.
been a slow week, hasn't it?
It has been a slow week. People just had to make their own news. Half-Life 3 revealed at next E3. Half-Life 5 released at next E3. Grand Theft Auto 6 released at next E3. This year's E3 is going to be the best ever. And I'm really going to enjoy it.
Well, speaking of E3 and it being much more interesting than this one image of Dishonored 2, have either of you ever thought about going to something like E3?
I always think that I would love to be there. But it's never going to happen.
Why not? It could happen.
Well, it's just one of those
There
things,
is some
isn't
public. There's public
People,
access, isn't there?
people say, "Oh, I'd like to go as a gamer," but when you listen to journalists and people, they say it's pretty much living hell. It's like they say it's a lot better to stay at home and just take all the information as you will. They say when you're actually there on the show floor, it's very hard to get a sense of all the big announcements because one will be going on at one side of the convention, another will be going at the other. You'll just hear him pass, and have you heard that this has been announced? And someone will be like, no, but I heard this was announced because they can't be everywhere at once. And obviously they say you've got obese people that stink in the hall because it's really fat and fast and it takes forever to try and play a game or get a demonstration. So I can see where they're coming from because even when I go to something like Comic-Con, I don't know if any of you guys have gone there.
No, I've not.
I haven't yet.
I would say go, but go on one of the earlier days where it's like the preview where there's not as many people because you'll literally be able to do nothing and you'll just be around women dressed as Pikachu. So moving on from mysterious images and onto the Watch Dog release date, and Gareth has got some news. It's the 30th of June 2021. Of course I joke. Here is Gareth, more news on the scoop.
So Sony updated their page on their store for Watch Dogs, and they were like, "Hey everyone, this is coming out June 30th," and everyone was like, "What?" And everyone was like,
"Oh, so it's just as unceremonious as that?"
Yeah, they didn't really tell anyone. It was just somebody who happened to be browsing it and were like, "Oh, there's a release date on this," and they got in touch with Ubisoft, and Ubisoft were like, "We're not talking about this right now."
But so, how many people even really care anymore?
Oh dear.
I don't.
If you've got this is the thing, guys. If you've got a next generation console, it's a really important game because we need Paul was saying today, we need games because we're starving of games. We might have the next generation consoles, but we're like the Africa of the gaming world, and you guys are getting all the stick of truth. Guy, I know you don't like Africa, but you don't need to make noises like that. Okay? Thank you. And stuff like the Stick of Truth, yes. I've been watching reviews of that. That's been getting great reviews. I'm really pleased with that because I might pick that up myself. We're looking at like high 8s into the 9s, which is really good. Seeming as the disappointments we had last week with Thief and Castlevania, or Assylvania, as Guy was called today. Thanks, Guy. But yeah, that's. We also got another release, kind of spillage today with Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh yeah,
which I don't really know where that kind of fits in with the whole story because it seems like an Origins story again. But wasn't Origins already done?
No, it's set 1 year after Arkham City, I think, and it's like Batman's at like the height of his crime fighting powers and like Scarecrow and Two-Face and all the big villains have come back to like, and it's like the final showdown, I think.
Why don't they just stop coming back? Why don't they just shoot them in the face?
Well, no, because
so much easier. Or just close Arkham down.
No, because it's exciting because this is probably a system seller for me because it's purely next gen.
And it looks a bit more realistic, doesn't it?
Right? And you can drive the Batmobile and explore Gotham City.
Has that been confirmed though?
Yes, they have confirmed that.
And has Shigeru Miyamoto told you that?
he actually sent me a text about it earlier on today. And that's
we're going to get onto that a bit later, obviously.
Because we will.
Yeah. True. Obviously, that's not going to come out on the Wii U, which is unfortunate.
Well, have you been reading my text from Shigeru Miyamoto?
I haven't, but you do have your own section coming up, Guy.
Well, so but you've just blown my section. That was it.
Well, I didn't know that was your section, and I apologise to Shigeru, and I'll tell him after when we have a phone call after because he tells me.
Oh, he phones you, does he?
He phones me. He says he doesn't want to phone you because he finds it hard to understand what you're saying, and when you do start talking, you lose the point and you don't really explain properly what it is you're trying to say. And he says also your heavy breathing makes him feel quite uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been a nice week for announcements. What about you? Are you a fan of the Arkham series, Gareth?
Yeah, but I just got off of playing Origins, so I'm not asked about this at all.
Origins has done a lot of damage to this series, from what I hear from people.
Well, no, it's not a bad game. I don't see the appeal of. It's just going to be the exact same.
No.
Yes, it is.
Isn't it by
no, you don't get it. That's why Origins is crap because Rocksteady passed it off to someone else so they could focus on the proper next-gen big
Which is
grand
neat.
finale for it. I think that's why that's obviously why they didn't do Origins.
But the story is basically the same as City.
Gareth, that's what I'm saying. They're all the same.
Oh yeah.
Like it was really inventive of them to go from the Asylum to the City, but then 3 straight games in a row are just the City, and in that medium you have to stick to a certain framework.
It's not really the city, is it? In Arkham City and Origins, it's like a little closed-off section. What they're saying is that this will be like pretty much a full Gotham City, which is
Gotham City's pretty huge in Origins. Go pretty much wherever.
yeah, but
But now you've got a car, Gareth. This is what everyone's been asking for.
if it's big enough
something
that you
to buy
can,
it on that one.
yeah.
Why would you use a car when you can just fly?
Well, there's driving sections, isn't there? Like vehicle battles.
Well,
I think
that's
there
my
will be.
worry, is that
Yeah,
they're saying
it's going to be restricted.
new, but it's just going to be, you're a Batman and you go automatic driving, because if we actually had you drive the Batmobile, you crash every 5 seconds because the Batmobile's like turbo-powered. So it'd just be press left to dodge this barrel they're throwing out of this van, press right to... It'll just be... I think if it's not QuickTime events, then...
It won't be quick.
Gareth,
time
you're
events.
being quite cynical.
Yeah, you
And I
are.
think, their first Arkham Asylum game was brilliant. Like, they really brought something new to it.
Yeah, it was.
Arkham City kind of added to that, and I'm hoping that Arkham Knight will kind of blow all the others out of the water with a new technology, and obviously harnessing the power of Wii U. It should blow everyone away, and it should be great.
Mark my words. This is my...
I'm going to mark them. I'm marking them
This
now,
is my
Gareth.
prediction. This game
Mark.
is going to be incredibly disappointing to everyone who plays it.
No, because it's going to
Oh,
be.
have you played it, Guy? Have you played it?
All right, no, I
We'll
haven't.
play half of it
But what you have to
stuck
bear in mind,
in the Batmobile and just sit there trying to get out of it.
I'll get stuck
Not
on one of
the
the. I'll
press
get
to
stuck
open
on one
up
of the
the
quick
Batmobile.
time events, and
Yeah.
I'll be able to. No, but like you got to remember, it's next gen as well, so it's got to be bigger in some way. Surely it's not just going to be the same
But
thing
bigger
again.
doesn't always mean better.
That's
True,
true.
but next
One
gen
of-
doesn't always mean
yeah.
bigger either.
But the thing with Arkham Origins is I think an Arkham City, one of the game's strengths was that it was a condensed area. I think if it's a big area, like the whole of Gotham City, they always make the excuse like everyone's been evacuated and everyone's gone off the island. And I'd hate to live on Gotham City because you'd be forever getting told to leave the island because there's some kind of menace coming in that Batman has to take care of. Let's say we had to leave now while we're doing this podcast. It would be a really big inconvenience. But, they don't think of that. And Gotham City must be among the top 10 worst places to live in comic book land.
But maybe there'll be civilians and stuff. Maybe there'll be. I mean, the consoles have got the power to do it now. I don't think the consoles would have had the power
But
to
at
do
the
it
beginning
before.
of the trailer, they're basically evacuating Gotham City.
Yeah.
So you're literally going to have empty streets with random crimes going on.
I just want Grand Theft Batman. That's all I want.
And he
that
wants
would be
you
good.
too, Gareth, good guy.
Yeah, Gareth.
Yeah, Gareth.
God, what's wrong with you today?
I want Batman, like, in the hood, like, going around sorting crimes. That'd be good. Because Batman's always concentrating on these big, bad villains. But what about the everyday life, the bread and butter of being Batman and going down the shops and getting some stuff as Bruce Wayne and then going out and doing a little bit of crime fighting? Exactly. And before we end... Sorry, Gareth.
Sorry. What I want is a Batman game that isn't open world. So they can
You want
be
a linear side-scrolling beat
No.
on the next Live
No.
Arcade?
What I want is, like, say, all these villains have, like, they've broken out of Arkham Asylum and they've just scattered. So, like, the Scarecrow will be hiding in, like, Metropolis, where Superman is or something. And you have to go to
Superman would knock
Metropolis.
him out.
Well, no, the point is, Batman cleans up his own mess. So Batman gets there and has to deal with Scarecrow. But then, like, halfway through, Superman will turn up and be like, well, you didn't tell me you were in town. And Batman will be like, I've got this, Clark. Just fucking leave this to me. All right. And then you could do that
So
in
you want
loads
more
of different
interaction?
ways. I just want, like, I want a Batman's greatest hits of stories that Batman's been a part of.
But has he been a part of many great stories
Yes. He's in comic
that
books
you could
that have
do?
been going back
Yeah,
50 years.
but it's what I'm saying, Gareth. It's got to be in the same game. So you can't have like 5 of the best Joker stories, like Killing Joke and stuff like that, and you can't have 5 of the other. You have to have, okay, the greatest hits, but you've got to have the greatest Joker, you've got to have the greatest Two-Face, you've got to have the greatest Riddler, and then you've got to put that all into a cohesive game where the time plots don't go around.
Well, then you can also have, like, Batman helping the Justice League when Darkseid invades the Earth, you know. Stuff like that.
You don't want much, do you?
I'm just saying, that would be interesting. Whereas
Have you
this
had the
idea of
Justice
just a
League
new
game
Batman
on Xbox
is not
360?
interesting.
I don't know. They could do it the sort of way they did my old favourite Spider-Man 1, because that was sort of, although there was an overarching plot, it was sort of individual stories within. Oh, well, I'm not saying anyone wants to play it, am I? I'm just saying it was a good format for the idea Gareth is suggesting.
Spider-Man 2 was great, but you always hold up Spider-Man 1 on the PlayStation 1 as if it's like the forebearer of gaming. Whereas like everyone else is like, yeah, Spider-Man 2. Everyone in agreement.
I was just saying the format would sort of be suitable for the sort of Batman game Gareth was suggesting, that's all.
Well, the game Gareth suggested is already out. It's that Justice League game. Have you not seen it on the Xbox 360? Come out a few weeks ago, based on the cartoon series.
No.
Well, Gareth, I think you should pick it up. Only $49.99 on the Xbox Live Marketplace. Absolute bargain.
Sounds really, really good.
It is good. But before we end the news, we have our now 1 week old section. So it's becoming more of a staple and regular feature of the show now on the Gamecentral podcast. And I like to call it, what has Nintendo boss Shigeru Miyamoto told Guy Whitlock regarding the news concerning Nintendo this week via SMS text messaging service to Guy's quite ancient Nokia 5110 that he refuses to upgrade because he finds polyphonic ringtones much too advanced and a future which he adamantly refuses to have a part in. So, Guy, what has Shigeru Miyamoto told you this week?
Well, it's the apart from telling me about Arkham Knight not being on Wii U, which loads of Nintendo fans are annoyed about for...
They shouldn't.
I don't really know why they're annoyed, because that doesn't take a genius.
No.
Anyone that was expecting it is stupid.
And is that what you texted back?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't. But then he sent me another text.
Okay. Straight after?
There was sad faces and...
Oh dear.
Ellipses everywhere. It was
Oh, you know what Shigeru's like. He likes to build up the old suspense in your text messages.
This week is the end. Sort of seeing the end of Nintendo's year of Luigi. Sad times. No more spotlight for.
Yeah, but what was the actual text he sent? Like, this is
the actual text was. This is the last few weeks of the year of Luigi. Go onto the eShop and buy loads of the Luigi featured games that are on sale. That's the text he sent.
So he's basically just sending
you advertisements. It's just trying to advertise Luigi games.
Right, I'm not being rude or anything, but that sounds pretty much like a group attachment message that he's just sent to loads of people.
He's right.
That doesn't sound like
get that text.
But Guy, you always go on like, oh yeah, I'll ask Shigeru what he thinks of what's going on. But to me, just there's 2 messages you just read to me sound like messages that a Nintendo fan service that you would subscribe to would send you.
Well, his representative told me it was his personal number. Well, I hope it's his personal number. I've been sending some pretty dodgy photos.
There we go. Pictures of you playing the Wii U. With your groin spread across the screen.
With just a bit of an ankle showing in the corner.
Oh, yes. Does he like all that then?
He does, yeah. He's a sick bastard. Oh, my.
Well, there you go. So, that is it for news this week. Guy, thank you very much for sharing your text messages. I know they're very personal to you, and I think it's
Apparently
not very nice.
Apparently they're not very personal to me.
Well, you know, when you've got someone like that texting, you've got to use that kind of information on this podcast. You can't keep it to yourself.
That's true.
And Gareth, if you could kind of try and find a gaming celebrity to start texting you information, I'm sure that would be a lot better.
I can try.
Yeah.
But I think I might be too famous.
I know. You might be messaging them if you haven't blocked them. When you walk into a game shop, what is the first thing you do when choosing which games to buy? Is it the attractive cover art? No, it isn't. Cover art can only tell you so much. It's like looking at the pretty serving suggestion picture on the front of a food product, but not reading the cooking instructions on the back of the box, not cooking it properly and dying from food poisoning, rather painfully. You only have yourself to blame. Choosing a game is no different, and I propose that all games should be turned the opposite way in game shops to just reveal the game information on the back. This is why our next session, what is the game which Rob is reading the back of? Can you tell just by what he is saying whilst reading it is so important to the gaming community? And so, guys, last week we had an absolutely beautiful game, Astro Boy, which was kind of like the precursor to Terminator. He was like the first Terminator, wasn't he? He's like half boy, half machine. Or is he just all machine? I think he's all machine, isn't he? It's like a kind of Pinocchio-style story.
Yeah, it's inspired by Pinocchio, I think.
I think we all are to some degree. Would you not say? I'd like to think this podcast is.
It is a very inspirational story.
Yeah, Guy grows every time one of us lies.
Is it in Pinocchio? It took me years. Like, I watched it when I was a kid, and then I always thought, like, for some reason, I think Pinocchio turns into like a donkey, but that didn't happen. Surely that just sounds ridiculous. And then I saw it years later, and that totally happens.
It's like being on drugs, and then you think, is your warped childhood mind kind of warping what actually happened with your real life?
It's messed up.
But most of them are messed up. You know, Alice in Wonderland, apparently that was written while the writer was high on some kind of drug. You know, and you'll find a lot of these Disney tales.
Dumbo's the worst for it. Dumbo's just trippy as balls.
Yeah, they're all pretty trippy.
The thing is, though, like, Pinocchio, I feel like it blindsides you the most, because it's all, like, nice, happy tale with this little boy made of wood, and then it just goes south so fast.
Yeah, and then they're smoking cigars at the same time, aren't they? Like these little kids.
Super weird.
It's just disgusting. And then they start going, and then, like, growing a donkey face.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if there's anything to put you off smoking cigars, that's it.
Maybe that's it. Trying to put a generation of kids off of smoking.
Well.
Yeah, I think it will.
Anyway.
But anyway, the back of the box from last week was Astro Boy, a mega factor on the Game Boy Advance. If people have played that, it's a fantastic little treasure.
I've played that. All the Astro Boy games on handhelds are, like, awesome.
They are, but it's that treasure magic. Yeah. I mean, I played it over and over and over again because you could unlock, like, different parts of the story and stuff.
Yeah.
But for the Game Boy Advance, I was completely blown away by it, like the replayability and stuff.
Yeah, those early Nintendo handhelds they had some good shit. So did anyone guess it?
No one actually got it right, and I'll tell you why. And this isn't me being rude. It's because no one knew what it was, and it was quite upsetting for me because it is an obscure game, and obviously, Guy, you haven't played it. Do you notice how, like, we didn't even attempt to ask you if you played it?
It's not that obscure, though, is it? There's been a film.
No, but the game is quite hard to get hold of.
Well, I've played the game and I didn't guess it from your reading last week, so you did a good job with the reading.
Well, you're either on a level on tuning in to what I'm doing, or you're not. The kind of what is Rob reading on the back of the box this week to make you realise what it is kind of is somewhere you have to be. You have to zone in.
Yeah.
And if you're not on the same wavelength, it can just go directly up your head.
It's a state of mind.
It is a state of mind, and my mind is in a right state. So anyway, we're gonna welcome a guest.
Well, you didn't do this week's.
What's this week's box?
Oh, this week's box! God! What's wrong with me? Right, get ready.
Right.
Could you imagine what would have happened? The bloody situation in Eastern Europe would have got worse for a start. Right. Entire cities are sinking, swallowed by a new threat from below.
I already know
Soon,
what this is.
Humanity will have nothing left to defend. Only one option remains. All-out attack. God, now, when you hear those words, that sounds quite desperate, doesn't it? Almost as if there's some kind of war going on. Now, if no one gets that one, I'll eat my right testicle live on air next week.
I got it like 2 seconds in.
Oh, that's good, because I'm banking on someone getting it, or I'm going to have the quite awkward time of eating my right testicle. But I've had my children, so, I'll do it happily.
You eating your right testicle would actually fit in with the South Park theme next week.
Oh, you've already decided?
I've just decided.
Be.
Everything I say will be related to South Park, because that's going to be amazing.
And you would have played it by then, wouldn't you?
I'll have completed it by then.
No, you won't.
I bet you, if I haven't completed it by next week, I will also eat my right testicle live on air.
Wow, that would be absolutely.
And
great.
now I'm just waiting for my PS3 to break Friday afternoon.
Which I hope it will.
Yep.
Because that's just your life. Can you get it on Xbox 360 so I could borrow it after you?
But no, I'm not going to.
Have you got
just
a
buy it?
360?
I haven't. No.
Oh, just get it on 360. What about you,
Well,
Gary?
no, because then I definitely can't complete it.
What?
Are you looking to get it?
Probably not, to be honest.
£40 a lot of money.
It really is.
But
Yes, I get it for £35, like me.
why is that?
Just because it's £5 cheaper and it's a bit more reasonable.
So it's $34.99.
I think it's $34.99 on shop2.net.
I'll try and rent it eventually. But that's it.
Where can you rent things from nowadays?
I rent from Boomerang Games.
Yeah.
.com.
.co.uk, I think.
.co. Yeah, you got to add that on the end, otherwise you just will never find them.
No. That's right, it's me, Gareth, here with the weekly video game music segment. If you were thinking that because the Classic FM Hall of Fame vote had ended, that this section was going to end, you were dead wrong. All that the voting ending means is that we no longer have to play classical music. We're now opening ourselves up to the whole array of music that's available, whether it's sort of rock music in games or 8-bit inspired music like this track. It's from one of my favourite games of all time, Super Meat Boy. And this is Devil and Bass.
Right, so this week's guest, we didn't have a guest last week because the guy was a bastard. But this week, we've got someone who absolutely loves Nintendo. Guy doesn't have many friends in life, but hopefully with our next guest, he can somehow form some kind of bond, mutual respect regarding their shared love of everything Nintendo. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce this week's guest. Joining us via Skype is Game Central's regular, Rory Rodders Sherwood. Let's just hope he's interesting and not a Nintendo bore. I've already got one of those. Rory, we're trying to find a friend for Guy. So if for about 2 minutes you just sort of tell Guy what you think would make you a great person for him to hang out with on Skype. And anyway, Rory, do you like swimming?
Yeah, I love swimming. It's brilliant.
So do you regularly go swimming or?
Yeah, every now and again, I suppose.
Hey, Guy, this is the thing. Like, people put that excuse in before they've even started talking to you because they know it's a kind of get-out clause that they can just use. Yeah, I did tell you I go swimming, Guy, when we first started talking. But anyway, Rory, you love, apart from swimming, you love Nintendo. Tell us a bit about your Nintendo background.
Oh, my Nintendo background started when I was probably about 4, I think. I remember playing Mario with my cousins at Christmas, and it all started from there, really.
And do you still play Mario with your cousins, or do you prefer to game alone?
I hate my cousins now, so I just play it by myself or with my family.
There you go. People drift apart as cousins.
Exactly, yeah.
It's quite hard. My cousins live so far away now. I suppose I could play with them on Xbox Live, but they're all female. I'm not saying females don't like to play on Xbox Live, but, you know, it's very rarely that they do. Guy, you might be a bit jealous to know he's actually friends with Shigeru Miyamoto, and Guy Whitlock receives text messages from him every week. Does that make you jealous, Rory?
Not really. I mean, I speak to Satoru Iwata quite a lot, so, you know.
Great.
Yeah.
That sounds like
I tried to get his number, but he wasn't interested, so...
Yeah.
Probably because Shigeru told him not to bloody do it.
Well...
There you go. Right, so what sort of games are you playing at the moment, Rory?
Well, I've got a huge backlog of games, which, well, I never get around to playing because all my friends want me to play Grand Theft Auto, but I suppose Guy hasn't got that problem, so...
That's pretty good. Guy, do you have Grand Theft Auto?
I do, yeah.
Well, there you go, jump on. What system do you play it on, Rory?
I play on the Xbox.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. Sorry, Guy.
Could have took him in as some kind of violent orphan. But have him walking around with you, introducing him to your friends, being a bit awkward. This is Guy. He's going to be coming along. And he does breathe like this. And all your friends will be going, who's that guy, mate? We're going to have to mute him.
Yeah,
and it will just be controversial. But, you know, if you don't want to play with Guy, that's fair enough.
I play Grand Theft Auto 5 with my mates, because on that, if they try and go swimming, I can just shoot them. And it's like my relief to escape the horrors of real life.
Grand Theft Auto in the landscape. Like, you're sitting there trying to rob a bank. They're like, right, we're going to go swimming. And you kind of look to the right, and all you see is them just swimming along in the ocean. And then you just stand there by yourself while the police are surrounding you, and you just berate your life. And then you put the control on.
Swimming with the fishes.
Swimming with the fishes, exactly. Now, Gareth, you haven't spoke much, and is that because you blocked Rory, or is it because you're waiting to get in edgeways?
There's not been much occasion for me to speak.
Okay, now is your occasion. Please take the stage, Mr. Gareth Williams.
Okay. I literally have nothing to say. I don't...
It's like at a party, isn't it? When you're all there together and it's like, dooch, 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 dooch. You're like, Gareth, here's my mate Rory. Have a little bit while I go to the bar and get myself a bit of a drink. And then I'll walk off. Guy's in the corner crying. And then you're talking to Rory. And it's like, it's awkward. And I hate that. I hate talking to people that I don't know unless it's across Skype. Then I can be quite confident. But I was at some sort of training program on Monday with various teachers and stuff from other schools, and the guy was giving like a seminar, and he said my worst nightmare, which is I'd like you to now turn to your right and discuss what I've just said to the person next to you. It's like, why force that on me, mate? I don't want to do that. I felt myself kind of getting scared, but she was all right in the end. She spoke to me and she stopped me from crying, which was quite good. But so you said you haven't been playing anything at the moment other than Grand Theft Auto Online, Rory?
I've been playing Pokemon X as well, and Zelda Link Between Worlds. Yeah, 3DS.
How is Link Between Worlds?
It's brilliant. It's very good. I'm trying not to complete it because it'll ruin it.
Yes, as well,
yeah. I've left it at the last temple for about 4 weeks, and I just don't want to finish it, really.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm savouring it, guy.
So that's what I do as well, but people don't understand that. When I leave a game for 2 years without finishing it, it's on purpose.
Just savour it for 2 years.
There's a reason I only played Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate for 4 hours.
I
Wow.
only played it for 2, so
Wow.
You beat me. Yeah.
You've beat.
Why? Did you not like it, or?
Well, it's the one on the Wii. I thought I'd love it, but I just didn't like it.
Well,
But I did like the free controller. That was all right. So.
Well, by Wii, do you mean the original one, or
the original, not the Wii U version? No.
Yeah.
The 5-6-year-old version.
Oh.
Yeah.
They made it better. They made it better with the Wii U version. To be fair, there's more in it and stuff.
I think this is going well, Gareth. I think this guy's actually coming out of his shell.
Yeah, he is a little bit.
Well, it's better than
Coming
the
out of his
last time you
shell.
put me on the spot in an awkward situation on here, isn't it? Or all the last times you've done that.
You've got something
Every
in common
week.
with Rory, and it's coming through.
Well, you've pointed it out now, so that's killed it.
I've got a question for Rory.
Here we go.
Go on, Gareth.
How's that Pokemon game? Is it shit?
No, it's actually quite good. It's the most fun I've had with Pokemon for quite a while.
How long? Can you be more specific?
Probably since Soul Silver came out, so about 4
Which
years.
wow, that's a long time.
2010, yeah. And I played the ones in between, but they haven't been as good.
It hasn't catched you all.
No, I don't. I don't complete the Pokédexes fully, not since Blue, Red, and Yellow, and Gold and Silver.
What about the Pokemon designs? What are they like? I've not even checked them in recent
Well,
years.
obviously the sprites are more animated and everything's fluid and it looks really good.
No, but I mean the designs, like
Yeah, no, the more recent ones are shit.
yes, Black
There's-
is awful.
There's some good ones.
Yeah, there are
We need
some.
to go back to the
I can't remember them now. Now we're speaking about the game, I've completely forgotten all of the new ones. But
Blast Boys.
Cheers for
I
jumping in
hate
with
the
that
new.
guy.
I hate.
well,
the
I
new
feel like
start.
we've spoken on this for about 15 hours now, and you haven't once asked me about. I play Pokemon.
Well, you've not.
That's why
We
we
ask
got
you what
Rory
you've been
on.
playing every fucking week, mate.
Well, yeah, I don't play it every week, do I? I bought it and played it for 2 days. I never played it again, but still, that's not the point.
Oh, let's talk about that then, Guy. The time you bought it and played it for only 2 days.
No, I did. I played it for quite a while because the guy I lived with played it religiously. And
Hey!
It all becomes clear why guys aren't a girlfriend.
So he was playing it religiously, and when you were in
So
bed
I was
together, and he was playing it at night, and you were rubbing up against his leg, going, "Oh, Shane, put that down and come and give me some attention. You bloody love your Pokemon, Shane. I'm leaving."
What?
That's not what happened, guys.
No, but it brought out my sort of competitive edge a bit, and I played it quite a lot.
What,
And did
trying to
loads of
compete with
super
him?
training and whatnot. And then, I don't know, it's worth playing and having just for the graphics, because it's like how, as a kid, you always dreamed of Pokemon looking in
Did you?
glorious 3D. I did. I always wanted to see Pokemon in 3D, and it's in 3D now. So
And so your dream has come true.
it has, yeah.
Gareth, is there any games that you would love to see in 3D?
I would have said Pokemon, but I have no urge to play X or Y at all.
Oh no, but why? Why
I
not?
was going to wait for Zed.
That is true.
It
Good
comes
way to
down. It comes down to the Pokemon. Like, if I don't care about any of the Pokemon,
Oh,
then I'm gonna play that game.
doesn't
No, it's
feel-
literally. It's
feel
got
what they're
like
trying
the
to say.
biggest. It's got like the biggest like vanilla Pokédex there is. It's got like a mix of everything up to now.
Yeah,
Like,
so,
literally.
So did Black, technically, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
sit
but
through
within
the
an
30
hour,
hours.
you have one. Within like an hour, you have one of the original starters as well.
Well, that's just a
Sorry.
gimmick.
No, that's not
Plus,
a gimmick.
the original starters, not that great.
Oh,
What's wrong with
no,
you? What
didn't.
Pokemon do you like?
I'll take a Cyndaquil over a Charmander any day.
I'm fairly sure you. No, you can't. I think that might be like one of the only.
What? No,
I
Since
can,
as you
I can
can't
give
get-
you a Cyndaquil, Gareth. That's fine. Buy it.
Well, there you go. He's got you there.
I usually
Why have we
wait till the
ended
third
this?
date before I let a guy give me a Cyndaquil.
There we go.
What about a
There we
Totodile?
go.
No, I don't know.
Second date, maybe?
How long until you let him squirtle?
Oh,
All over your Jigglypuffs.
Right over it. But, I've descended Pokemon into some kind of disgusting thing. And, we talk about Pokemon, and Pokemon's one of the only things where I don't feel confident, guys. And I kind of feel that you just sort of do it to make me feel undermined.
That is
exactly
partly
why I
why I
play it.
started doing it. Yeah,
Yeah,
It was
because
good to
like
be
my
on the other side
Pokemon...
of the other side of the coin.
Yeah, the cool side guy. As I can hear that you're talking about your Pokemon. I feel really uncool. Like I'm not with a cool gang. But can we just shift over from Pokemon for a second?
okay.
And talk about something just as cool. Rory, are you a fan of Magic the Gathering? Guy, are you a fan of Magic the Gathering?
Oh, no.
Gareth, are you a fan of Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, I like Magic.
Excellent. Well, my brain, as I've said to you, doesn't really work properly. And when I hear a song or something, I get obsessed with something someone says, and I think that there's a conspiracy going on. And Rory, I'd like you to join me in this. This week on Rob's Mind is a bit weird. So what has it been telling him this week? I haven't been doing much this week, guys, but I have found out that Katy Perry has been sending me secret messages through her songs regarding the card-based game Magic the Gathering. And it makes it even more suspicious that we were talking about those pale little card-loving virgins a few podcasts ago with our good friend, game shop owner, Stuart McNeil. It's just all very, very suspicious. And I think she loves me, but doesn't want to tell me directly, as I am not interested. Obviously, you want to hear my evidence for such a claim, and here now is my evidence that I have correlated in an easy-to-understand breakdown. Now, Gareth,
Yeah.
I'm sure that once you hear this evidence, you are going to be past any kind of doubt that she is actually trying to communicate with me the basis of the card game Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
So her latest song is
My
called...
God.
Is called... I'm very paranoid, Rory. Her song that she's just released is called Dark Horse, okay?
Okay.
And that is the comic book publisher that publishes the Magic the Gathering series of comic books.
Okay.
Okay? That's strange. In her song, she says, "So you want to play with magic?" Okay? But you better choose carefully, which is also another big strategy I'm sure you understand in Magic the Gathering, Gareth.
What, choosing?
Yeah, choosing carefully.
Sure.
So you want to
yeah.
play with
Okay.
magic, but you better choose carefully. Okay?
On its own, not really compelling evidence, but I'm sure you got more.
I have.
Okay.
She also said it's in the palm of your hand now.
Oh,
and where
God.
do you hold the cards?
Where do I hold the
In the
cards?
palm of your hand.
Sure, yep.
Excellent.
That's immediately what springs to mind when you say the palm of your hand.
Yeah. And this is one of the other ones. Perfect Storm. Are you ready for a perfect storm? Perfect Storm is an actual card deck. Okay, are you ready for the Perfect Storm, which is a card deck in Magic the Gathering? So that's my evidence. Next week I'll be talking about how JLS are trying to tell me about Pokemon. So guys, what do you think of my evidence? That's
compelling.
unequivocal. That is compelling.
It is.
And I'm a bit too scared to go further down that route because I know Russ branded and he ended up getting divorced from her.
Yeah, what an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But if she's talking to people about magic through her songs, then he's going to get jealous. So that's why they had a divorce.
There you go. Because she wanted to play with magic, but he didn't. Because he's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. But she's obviously putting that out there for Magic the Gathering fans to kind of go to, yes, I understand, Katie, and I understand what you want to be doing. And you don't want to be doing all that. But anyway, that was that. This is now Rory Sherwood.
Yes.
Are you eating peanuts?
Am I what?
Eating peanuts.
I might be eating crisps because you left me waiting for ages.
Sorry.
Have you just been sat there by the computer? Just staring.
No, he's been trying to work out if this actual conspiracy is true.
Yeah.
What? How have you even come up with that? What point did you sit down and look for secret messages relating to obscure card games?
I was on my way to work and it was going, are you ready? Do you want to play with Magic? And I was thinking, hang on a minute, this doesn't sound right to me. And I carried on listening, and there was all these kind of messages coming out. And I got to school, and rather than doing work, which I should do, I just started researching like card decks, and it was coming up Perfect Storm, and then there was a relationship to Dark Horse, and I just thought, you know what, that's it. I've done it.
Did that happen before or after you got bored and started drawing offensive pictures?
That was the other day.
Oh my god.
Hey, that wasn't.
All right, it's not that funny. You don't need to laugh about it. Or have you just minimised your computer screen and it's just your wallpaper and you've just seen it and are now laughing at it again?
Your caricature face might be my wallpaper. I'm not going to disclose.
Well, I'm not going to lie, it's my wallpaper in my bedroom. Just that.
But
just
the thing was
everywhere.
that I was chastised for that picture of that. But if you actually scroll down on her actual profile picture, there's much worse when you get below her waist. And you know, I didn't include that. You know her profile picture, Gareth?
Yeah.
If you actually click on it, scroll down, you'll see some nasty gash.
Was it frothing?
Yeah. It's not nice. It looks like it's got influenza.
Why would you say that?
It looks like she's giving birth to a chihuahua. Bloody hell.
Exactly. An angry chihuahua.
Brilliant. I can't wait for her to listen to this.
She won't listen to this.
Oh, what's going on the podcast this week? Oh, okay.
But
Wait, are we talking about Guy's gash? Is this... Yeah?
I'm sure.
Oh, Guy, saying you've got vagina.
Okay.
Which you could have.
Okay.
You know, it hasn't been proven otherwise.
Yeah,
Well.
there's nothing wrong with that, Guy. If you want to have a vagina, that's fine.
Yeah, like the first name, Guy, it's a bit too...
It's a bit too
It's
manly,
like you're
isn't
definitely
it?
trying
Too
to...
obvious.
Definitely trying to make up
I
for
know,
something.
it's like I'm overcompensating. I thought it was too obvious when I got that changed by deed poll, but
Yeah.
I didn't really think too much of it at the time, to be honest.
Was
I thought no one will notice.
Was your name Fanny before?
It actually was.
Fanny Whitlock, I like that.
And his nickname was also...
Headshot.
Actually, take that out, because when you say the C word, that's like...
That's really bad.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
you
really
can't
bad.
use that, and that will bring our podcast down.
Unbelievable.
Yes, because it hasn't already been brought down this evening.
It hasn't. And now it's time for this week's Retro Game of the Week. Now, Guy, I'm going to let you use your presenting skills to present it, basically. Go ahead.
I don't even know what won the poll, so...
It was
Excellent.
Majora's Mask.
Well, there you go.
He's the best of the 3 games that were put forward.
It was by miles. By absolute miles. I don't feel I'm in a good position to present this because
you bending over your chair, you can't rub your eyes. That is the worst position.
That as well, but
yeah.
That does make it quite difficult to present. But...
It does. Gareth, take it away. It's your game. It's your love. It's your child. People voted for you to show your child on the glamour parade. Show the child.
What? Do we not want to tell them what the options were?
Well, the options were Freedom Fighters, Mario Kart again, and Majora's Mask. And people, resoundingly, want to listen to people talk about Majora's Mask again, as if they haven't done it millions of times before. Whereas Freedom Fighters, which is an underrated gem, would have been lovely to talk about. But take it away, Gareth. Let's hear someone else talk about Majora's Mask in what I like to call someone talks about Majora's Mask for the 10 millionth time. I haven't even played it, but I have.
Majora's Mask is underrated.
You're sounding a little bit resentful there, Rob. Just a little bit.
I do, because I love Freedom Fighters.
I've never played it.
And that's why you probably would have liked to have heard about it, Rory.
Yeah, probably.
There's a reason he hasn't played it.
Majora's Mask is better.
Majora's Mask is better than most games.
It is.
And now Gareth is going to tell you why.
Is someone going for a piss?
That's actually me doing it into a piss.
Rob does have a habit of doing this.
It could be. I can't tell if you're joking or not.
He does.
No, I actually am.
He does have a
this is
habit
the
of
can.
pissing while we're on here.
Oh, you can hear the liquid in it.
Yeah, it's because my toilet's all the way downstairs. No, upstairs. Sorry, I get upstairs and downstairs mixed up. Because I used to live in a flat when I was growing up, so obviously I don't know. And listen as I drink it by accident in a few minutes. Right, okay. So, have you ever done that? Come on, guys, you must have done that.
Drunk piss by accident?
Yeah.
What happened to Majora's Mask?
We'll get to it.
This is what happens in Majora's Mask, guy. You obviously haven't played it.
I haven't played it, that's the worst thing.
Oh my god.
That's the director's cut.
How have you not played Majora's Mask and you claim to like Nintendo?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've played it for about 10 minutes.
No, you don't play it for 10 minutes. You can't.
No, you can't.
That sentence doesn't even make sense,
I also earlier said I'm not really that big a fan of Zelda anyway. I like them and I play them when I can get my hands on
I
them.
want to know the process, okay? So you go into a game shop, you buy the game, you hand over the money, you come out of the shop.
I just put it in the bin.
But literally, what do you do?
Sometimes I just leave it on the counter in the shop. I just give them my money, take the receipt, and just like put the game back on the shelf as on my way out.
You should tease yourself. I'm really enjoying this. I'm just going to turn it off because I'm enjoying myself. And I hate myself.
50
And then you have a
Shades of
flashback.
Game.
There you go.
Did you say gay or game?
I said game!
Oh, it cut out.
Oh, yeah, I bet it did.
Right, so Majora's Mask, Gareth.
Okay, so Majora's Mask, you play as young Link. Obviously the best Link. We're all agreed.
That is the opinion of a nonce.
If you're talking about Super Smash Bros, I'll agree with you on that.
Yes, boom, Super Smash Bros. Twice in one podcast. I didn't even...
You prefer to play with young Link.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Obviously. So young Link, right, he's going through the forest on his horse.
Oh dear.
Right?
Out pops Gareth from behind a tree.
And then all of a sudden...
AKA Skull Kid.
Skull Kid arrives with a weird mask on. And he
Oh,
pushes
dear.
him off his horse. And he's like, yo bitch, I'm taking this fucking horse. And then he fucking Grand Theft horses him. And he fucking rides off into the...
And he takes his ocarina as well, remember that?
Yeah, he straight up ganks this fool.
Yes.
Takes all this
So he
shit.
basically just gets robbed in a woodland area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he chases the robber. And he falls down a big old hole. And then when he wakes up, he's been turned into a Deku scrub.
Oh my god, I hate it when that happens.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean...
Happened to me last week, it was horrid.
I know. Did you what did you do to stop it? Or reverse the situation?
I'm still a Deku scrub now.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to bring that because it can be quite sensitive for some people.
Yeah, and my balls are really barky.
There we go.
Barky, like, tree bark. Yeah, alright.
So Link wakes up and he's a scrub. And then Skull Kid's like, I'll turn you into a Deku scrub, dickhead. And then runs away. And then Link realizes, oh shit, there's like the moon's falling, and I'm also in some weird place that I've never been before. And then in 3 days' time, the moon hits the Earth, and the Earth is destroyed. Unless you can reverse time 3 days and start the whole process all over again in a ode to Groundhog Day, but in video game form.
And he still gets to keep all his items as well, which...
Not rupees, though. You've got to use the bank for that.
Yeah, but how did... Yeah, okay. That's true.
Anyway, so now you know what Majora's Mask is, Rob/Guy. Majora's
I will
Mask
slash him. Just give me the chance, mate. I'll slash him anytime.
Assassin!
Majora's Mask, for me, was one of the first games that ever, like, elicited an emotional reaction.
Okay.
Because, like, so these characters, like, you know, they're all going about their daily lives. They're, like, setting up for a big festival and everyone's all excited. And, like, this moon is clearly crashing into the Earth. And everyone's like, it's just the moon, it's fine.
Really?
Yeah. No one really seems to mind. Everyone's like, it'll be fine. It's just the moon. But
Yeah,
all
it's
these
not
people,
like that to do any damage.
all these people are going about their daily lives and they all want help. And you're like, you know, I'll help you with your little task. I'll help you deliver this letter. And you go deliver the letter and like, cheers for delivering that letter. Or, you know.
Here's some rabbit ears. You can run fast now.
Yeah. And then, like, it's either let him die or reverse time. And you reverse time and this person has no memory of you helping him.
So they're unappreciative.
Well, it never happened because you've gone back in time.
So the whole game's pointless, basically.
No, because you slowly make progress through the dungeons, but all this other progress, like making relationships with characters that you start to care about, they just have no memory of you next time you restart. So, like, there's a love story in the game where, like, some guy got turned into a kid by the school kid.
Anju and Keifi.
Yep. And Anju works at the inn and she's all sad that her boyfriend's disappeared, but he's been turned into a child.
Wow, that's awkward.
And through a series of quests and stuff, if you, like, basically, you have to spend the entire 3 days, like, helping him. And then finally, right on the third day, you get them together as a couple, and, like, they get married, and they're
But he's
all
an
in
adult,
love.
right?
No. He's
What?
an adult trapped in a child's body, and she's like, I don't care. I just love you so much.
Well, that's the burning issue of this podcast, Rory.
No,
Is that right?
It's not
Okay,
even an
your
issue.
girlfriend
It's not right.
is in the body of an 8-year-old.
It's not right, but it's okay.
I'm going to make it anyway.
Exactly. I set you up for that.
But then
Come on.
here's the thing, right? You spend like 3 entire days getting this couple back together, and then you just have to reverse time, and they've never met again. And it's like proper heartbreaking.
But you get the mask for it, so...
Yeah, but then like all the time you're doing other quests, like helping out other people, you just see like Anju going about a day like dead depressed, and you're like, I just got you back together with your husband, like...
Yeah.
And now you're just all sad again. So when I was like 12 or whatever, like... it was the first game that got me emotional.
First game that got me emotional as well. I got it for Christmas, but I didn't have an expansion pack, so I couldn't play it for like a week.
Oh, Father Christmas can be a twat sometimes.
He is a bastard.
Maybe you've been naughty that year.
No, I was really good that year. I didn't kill anyone.
That's the only metric that Santa Claus uses.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you killed anyone.
Joe, you
By the way,
you really pushed your way back into that conversation there, Rob. Nice one.
I'll push myself in your face in a minute.
Mega kill.
Excellent.
So, Guy, in your 10 minutes, where did you get up to in Majora's Mask?
Do you want me to be really honest?
You don't remember?
It was on a very poor N64 emulator.
Oh,
That's even worse.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You really are a you know that.
The thing is that this constantly made me afraid of this podcast, and Guy in particular, is the fact that he suggested getting together and doing a podcast, probably knowing full well that he'd have to probably talk about games. It's like, I'm not going to go into, I don't know, a hairdresser group and go, hey guys, why don't we make a podcast on the great things going on in the hairdressing world? And then just sit there going, I've got no idea what anyone's talking about. I'll just sit here and play with my willy and tap away on my keyboard.
I had my haircut once.
Yeah, I think he likes being a watcher. I think he likes to sit there and listen to us talking about games while he sits there breathing heavily down the mic. And I think this is just a chance for him to perv over it for a few
You guys
hours.
are just pissed off to finish Bioshock.
I
That's all
am
it
genuinely
is. You're
pissed
just
off you
bitter.
didn't finish Bioshock.
Because
I
that was-
honestly, I tried, but that bit is just doing my head in.
What bit are you talking about?
The bit I really described brilliantly last week when I said
yeah.
the giant airship battle.
So you haven't finished it yet?
No.
Rory, have you finished it?
I have. I thought it was a very good game.
I think we should actually talk about it now.
Yeah,
we
go
talk
for it.
about-
I don't think we
Majora's Mask.
should. Yeah,
Right,
we
so,
should.
Gareth,
Yes.
what was your kind of feeling at the end of Bioshock Infinite?
I'm not going to talk about Bioshock Infinite because I
Okay,
really
let's
like
talk about
Majora's
Majora's
Mask.
Mask. Let's go back.
As in Majora's Mask. Let's go back to the point where we hadn't have met Guy and we just decided to do a podcast with a guy called Rory Sherwood.
I'll go and get my ocarina. We'll go back 3 days and we'll do this.
Excellent.
Evo.
No, you have to go further back than 3 days.
No, but I'll kill him and then I'll just take his place.
Termination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So Majora's Mask, would you be able to play it now, Gareth?
Yes, I think you'd be able to play it. I think you'd be able to play it now better than you will be able to play Ocarina of Time, personally.
Oh, you think it's aged better?
Not necessarily aged better, but I think the things it's doing are more interesting with the way video games have gone. Like, nowadays, there's like The Last of Us, it's a more deep experience. And I think Majora's Mask was a deep experience before people were expecting that from games, which is why I think it got such a weird reaction.
Yeah.
People didn't really go for it at the time, but I loved it.
And that's all that matters, really, that you loved it. Doesn't matter about anyone else what they loved.
I loved it as well.
Well, there you go, Rory. You loved it as
Yeah,
well. Guy
exactly.
loved the 10 minutes on his emulator, which was quite nice for you, Guy.
It did make me want to actually play it, but unfortunately I don't have an N64 or
Brilliant.
a copy of the game. If they re-release it, like they did for Ocarina of Time, I will get it.
Do you have a
immediately.
Wii?
I do. It's on the Virtual Console, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the Virtual Console. You can play the
Oh no, I don't have a Wii
Edition
anymore.
disc.
That's a lie.
Ah.
I also don't have that collector's edition disc. What? Why would I keep my Wii when I have a Wii U?
That's a good question, actually.
Why? For what purpose?
If we ever meet, I'm just going to knock you out.
I think
With
we'll
no
have to
questions
do it
asked.
too, Gareth, to be honest.
I'll get in the line.
You should
I think
strangle
the
him with your
Okay,
hand.
let me rephrase it. If they ever release it on the Virtual Console for Wii U, I'll get it immediately.
Why would they
If
do
they
that?
ever
Nobody owns a
re-release it
Wii
in any
U.
form-
They need to do a 3DS.
What do you mean
version.
nobody owns a Wii U? I own a Wii U. Rory
Yeah,
owns a
and you're
Wii U. You
nobody.
own a Wii U. 3 of us out of the 4 of us own a Wii U. Therefore, 75% of people in the world own a Wii U.
This is true.
That's
Gareth,
mad.
do you own Wii U?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
You
said
said,
three.
I swear you said you have in the past.
Oh, dear.
I swear.
Right.
Oh.
When Super
Alright,
Smash
50%
Brothers comes
of
out,
us.
I'll have to get
50%
one.
is still better than the actual figure.
True.
So,
Although I do still have a Wii.
That's good.
well then, how about you send me your Wii in the post? I'll play Majora's Mask and then I'll send it back.
What is this, the
In a
Doctors?
specimen container. Right, so that is our retro game of the week, Majora's Mask. Gareth said you could still play it today and it would still hold up pretty well, and
Yeah.
you'd probably play it towards the end and love it. But we're going to go on to our final section. What have we been playing this week?
Guy, what have you been playing?
Whoa, Rory! You can't come in here.
There was a long gap. I'm filling it for you.
But that's where the jingle goes, Rory.
What jingle? I can't hear a jingle. This is the first time
No,
I've
no,
used
no, no.
Skype.
This happens when
I live in the
goes back
country.
to-
I don't understand internet.
Right, basically, after this is done, Gareth will go into his editing suite, and he will he will go in there and he will put jingles in where there are little gaps of speaking, and then he'll release it, and then we'll all go, "That was really good, Gareth." But right now there'll probably be some massive 10-minute long orchestral score. So we'll start with you, Rory, as you are our guest.
Okay.
What have you been playing this week?
Pokemon X.
Oh,
Limbo.
great. Oh, did you get Limbo on the $1.99 special?
I did indeed.
Same with me, my friend. How are you finding it?
I was playing it with no sound, and I got stuck at the tree spider for about an hour.
Yeah.
I thought I had to jump on his leg and jump over it, but I didn't have to do that.
No, you have to. For anyone that's listening out there with limbo problems or stuck in limbo,
Hey.
there's actually a kind of bear trap up on a tree that the spider will knock down. You then take its legs off, don't you, Rory? Quite
You do.
unceremoniously. And
Also,
quite rude. If you...
Also, Guy, did you notice how Rory was stuck on a bit and kept playing and eventually beat that bit and got past it and then was able to play the rest of the game?
Ultra kill.
Gareth just
But
thinks that's
he
where
enjoyed
games
that
stop.
bit. I don't.
I
It's
didn't
not
enjoy
Gareth
it.
again.
Ended the game.
What is wrong with you getting us mixed up tonight every time?
Right, Guy, look. We were talking earlier, me and Gareth, and we were talking about this whole rage quit phenomenon. And I don't know if you agree with me, Rory, but this seems to be the younger demographic where they
definitely does.
rage
Rory's
quit.
only
They
4 years
throw-
older than me.
They throw a little pussy fit and they throw the controller and go, "Oh, I'm going to rage quit now," and then do a YouTube video where they're rage quitting and everyone watches it. But back in the day, we didn't have a thing called rage quit. Yeah, we got a bit upset, Guy. We got a bit hacked off. But you know what? That just made us more determined. We didn't start crying like little girls.
Exactly.
And I think that's what marks us gamers out from the newer generation. And that's why games are so easy now. So you don't rage quit.
Yeah, actually, Guy, don't play a Legend of Zelda game. You won't. You can't hack it.
I have
I'll
played
tell you
Legend
now.
of Zelda games before.
Yeah, have you?
Have you-
How
What,
much?
you-
Have
what
you?
are you- So I haven't played one, so suddenly haven't played any?
Guy, have you completed a Legend of Zelda game?
Yes.
Which one?
I've completed Ocarina of Time, Minish Cap, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Link to the Past.
Oh, well done. That's actually
He
quite
thought he
impressive.
completed them, but he actually just got stuck. And he thought that was the end of the game. But we're
The
only
end of-
joking, Guy.
Yeah, I'm not even... No.
Right, so Rory, have you been playing anything else apart from what the delights Xbox Live has to offer?
Brothers as well. I downloaded that, and that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I've played of it so far. Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm looking forward to the business pack today that comes out.
You're going to get down to business?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. And that is about it.
Guy?
Me?
Yeah.
I've played a hell of a lot of Gran Turismo 6.
Well done. And have you...
Because I've
enjoyed
been trying to complete all of the career events before South Park comes out on Friday, and I have
The
not.
queer events?
Unstoppable.
Queer events?
That is definitely what I said.
No, that's just you broke up a bit. And
Oh, yeah.
whenever you
That's
break
convenient,
up,
isn't it?
sounds like you're making some sort of sexual remark.
Career.
I don't know if it's your line network. You might want to get hold of them.
Oh,
Right, so Gran Turismo
I've been
6 whilst drunk.
playing that for ages. Well, funny story that I sat and played that like all day Sunday, and it was great fun. But I am genuinely very bad at Gran Turismo, and I actually did all right.
But
So,
if you're
I
bad
thought-
at Gran
so I
Turismo,
thought,
then why aren't you
put
playing
humorous post on the
Bioshock?
Gamecentral group. What?
Play Bioshock!
How is that relevant?
Because you say...
It's very relevant.
Bioshock.
Could
I
you say...
played Bioshock.
Oh, I'm
got
bad at
annoyed
first-person
with
shooters,
one of
so I
those
don't
really
play.
bad sections where you have to project a stupid thing from enemies coming from everywhere. Failed it twice and got pissed off because it was taking fucking ages.
Twice?
I don't have time to sit and spend 10 minutes of time fucking...
10 minutes?
What the
I don't.
fuck?
I've said this so many times. I do not like first-person shooters that much, which means when I'm literally playing it to see how it ends. I don't really care about playing it anymore. I find it boring now. There you go, I said it. So before you go judging me, I have years to spend on a game that I don't really enjoy just to see the end of the story that I could find by going on YouTube. So fuck you.
Whoa, I think the difference is though, Gareth, that Guy gets his games on PS Plus. So, you know, when you haven't done a financial outlay, it's very easy to just kind of...
That's not what it is. It's because I don't really like the game that much.
I don't think it is. I think it's easy
It
come,
is.
easy go.
If you would have bought it last year for £40 when it came out, you would have completed it because you.
I would never have bought it for £40.
Okay, £30.
I would never have paid £30 for it.
Okay, £25.
Because I knew beforehand it was probably about 7 hours long, and I'm not paying a full price for a short game. So I don't like. I think first-person shooters are terrible value for money compared to.
How much are you gonna pay for South Park again?
I'm a big South Park fan, and I'm going to enjoy that. I'll get my money's worth out of that.
It's only about 14 hours long.
I'm not a big Bioshock fan. Sorry?
It's only
about 14, 15 hours long.
Yeah.
But I'll get through it a couple of times.
It's like when Majora's Mask came out, that was probably about £50, and I must have put like 200 hours into that game when I was younger.
Yep.
That's value for money right there.
I can just see the next few weeks of podcasts, Rob, where we're like, "So, Guy, did you finally get around to completing Bioshock Infinite?" He was like, "No, I'm on my 8th playthrough of South Park."
Yeah, probably.
Well, I hope I'm at least on my 2nd playthrough. Otherwise, I'm going to be a testicle down in a couple of weeks. So
you are.
It's true.
That's
Well,
true.
yes. How can you lose any more testicles than
Oh.
There we go.
Rory's on it. We're replacing you with Rory, Guy.
Yeah. No, but then
except who would you have to make fun of?
You! We'll still make fun of you if you're not here.
We'll just do a section. Right, so Gareth, what have you been playing this week?
I played Elder Scrolls Online in the beta.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
How is that?
I think that's quite sexual.
Elder Scrolls Online is awesome.
Is it?
And I wasn't expecting it to be.
As awesome.
I'm well excited for it. Basically, it's more Elder Scrolls than MMO. So it's basically like a new Elder Scrolls game that just happens to also be...
And you have to pay monthly for it.
Online. Well, yeah, but you could only pay for 1 month and play an Elder Scrolls game for a month if you wanted.
But no one wants to play an Elder Scrolls game for just 1 month.
I did. I played Skyrim solidly for about 5.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, but Skyrim's not very good.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Oh, here we go.
Just say controversial things now, just to get a reaction. I have to tell you up.
Look,
to
no,
be
it's
an-
good. It's good. I don't mean that like how it's good, but it was like Fallout New Vegas was a disappointment after Fallout 3. I thought it was a step back from Oblivion, which in itself was a step back from Morrowind.
No.
Did you play Morrowind?
I did play Morrowind.
Oh, you're such
Bullshit.
a fucking hipster guy.
What?
Bullshit.
No, I did. Play Morrowind. And it was
Right,
fucking...
go back. So you're basically saying Morrowind is a better game than Skyrim, then?
It's more ambitious than Skyrim.
Is it?
Well, it is a little bit. I mean, Skyrim's bigger and fancier, but Morrowind was more intricate. The systems were more detailed. It was a bit more complex. Skyrim is just they've just no.
Well, that's not an argument. Finish your sentence, please.
What's wrong with
That
Skyrim?
would not be traditional fashion for me to finish a sentence. So. Oh, come on, Oblivion was better than Skyrim.
No.
I don't think I want to do this
The
anymore.
quests were better.
I'm really just losing all kind of...
The quests in Oblivion were much better. The storylines in Oblivion were better.
Right, how? This is
How?
where you have trouble, traditionally,
This
in
is where I have
conversations.
trouble, yeah.
He makes a statement, but then backing up. Tell us your favourite mission, Guy, in Oblivion. Go.
The one where for the Assassin's Brotherhood, where you have to go into the house and sort of bump everyone off or get them to bump each other off, sort of murder mystery type thing. That's an awesome mission.
You mean
but
the-
it was
anything like
clumsy as
that in-
fuck.
You mean the mission where you just talk to people and that's all you can do?
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
make a candlestick fall,
Yeah.
whatever it was.
That's
They
fine.
didn't copy that idea
I
from
don't-
anywhere else, like
What?
Cluedo.
Guy thinks that's the pinnacle of gaming right there.
Oh my god!
Ugh.
What Cluedo, yeah, Cluedo's awesome.
Look, Skyrim. Look, I
No,
called you
because
Skyrim. How annoyed I'm getting. Look, Skyrim, listen to me. If you go back and play Oblivion, I guarantee you will not like it as
I
much as
find
you
it
thought.
holds up.
No, when
In
was
the
the last
same way
time you
Fallout
played
3
it?
holds up well. About 6 months ago, I think.
The faces are awful. The character animation is awful. He looks like he shit himself.
Alright, graphics all.
Graphic
Since when
core.
was it about
It's not
graphics?
Skyrim is just a more cohesive
No,
world
it's more
that's
repetitive.
easier to navigate.
It's more repetitive than going in the same Oblivion gates over and over and over and over and
Yeah.
over again,
Same.
and you don't know where you
it's
are.
sort of like that, except it's every dungeon is the same over and over
Right,
and over
I
again.
hope you go into an Oblivion gate, it shuts behind you, and you have to live there for the rest of your life in that fucking tower. Let's just move along, because I don't want to talk about this anymore.
I hope you have
Making
to
me
massage Daedras. I really
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
Underneath there.
I don't know.
yeah, all spiky and stuff.
Why do we all hate Oblivion all of a sudden?
We don't hate
Oblivion.
it.
It was brilliant at the time. It was
It's-
brilliant. I loved it. But we move on, Guy, and you've got to move on with us. It's like someone saying, "Oh, you got one of those iPod things. You want to look at the wireless, mate? That's what it was all about. It's brilliant."
It's not, because Skyrim isn't that much of a step up. iPods, if anything, is increasing. Well,
my
okay,
God,
wait, no, now I think
Alright,
about.
no,
Not
let's
being
leave iPods.
With your iPod, bloody, you probably listened to an iPod for 10 minutes and then put it down and just went on to something else.
Yeah.
But anyway,
You want
Gareth,
to
what
get
else?
yourself a Zune player, guy. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
What,
Get a
one of
Zune.
those mini.
Zoom's horrible. Why would you even say that? That's like the worst.
I think he was joking, Guy.
What?
I don't know.
Why
I'm
would you
getting
say
worked up
Oblivion's
now
better
because I
than
feel
Skyrim?
like. You're right. Game Central Lives people really are all Nazis. Jesus Christ! Not allowed to think Oblivion's better than Skyrim
No, you're
without
not.
being
Literally.
put in a gas chamber. Jesus Christ!
Well, Guy,
Was
I
that
would
too far?
make a gash trailer.
Let's edit that out. I'm just going to put my headset down and walk away.
Basically, Guy is condoning drink driving, Nazi rule, and gassing.
No, I'm not.
I disagree with
I'm
him.
saying Nazi rule is not good. What?
No, you're saying that it is.
Oh, no, I'm saying you're all Nazis. That's all I said. I didn't say that was a good thing.
Oh, that's nice.
I've
Right,
never
so
killed a Jewish person.
Well,
Rory's just messaged me on Facebook saying, I bloody hate Guy. Don't say anything. But I can't see myself hanging around on this podcast for much longer. You guys are talking okay, and you're talking about the games you play, but Guy keeps taking it off on a tangent, and I can't stand his voice. Please wrap this up. Okay, sorry about that, Rory. Gareth,
Are we still on for
Well-
swimming?
we are. We're going to go in a minute. Right, so Gareth, what have you been playing?
Okay, well, Elder Scrolls Online's really good. I'm going to be in more of the beta weekend, so I'll have more to
To
talk
be honest
about.
with you, Gareth, I would have absolutely loved to have heard a little bit more about what makes Elder Scrolls Online great. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, someone thought that they would go around saying that Morrowind was better than Skyrim and upset us.
Yep, well, you know. that's
Can you
way
be the
cookie
dwarfs
is.
in Elder Scrolls Online?
Yeah.
that is
No.
awesome.
I don't remember seeing, unless it's mixed in with one of the other races. But they have all, you know, the classics: Argonians, High Elves, Dark Elves, Nords. But the thing, like, if you're a certain race, you'll have to be part of a certain faction, and each of the factions has a different, like, starting area and stuff. So, like, I was a High Elf, and my friend was a Nord, I think, and we started in different starting areas, and we didn't know that was going to happen. So we had to sort of restart our characters, which was annoying. But it's all very rough at the moment. They're changing it with every beta weekend as well, so it'll change from week to week. So I'm looking forward to playing. Hopefully this weekend coming up. Fingers crossed.
He's crossing them.
Yep. But today, mere hours before the podcast even started, I tried playing some Assassin's Creed 4.
Tried.
Yep.
How long did you play?
I played about half an hour.
Half an hour. Is it because it makes out that you're an assassin, but the control scheme is so clumsy and ill-informed that you find that you're not really an assassin, but a bungling buffoon?
That's definitely part of it. Another part of it is everything about that game is bad. So I'm sending it back.
It's not as good as Assassin's Creed 1, though, is it, guy? Oh, God, Rory's emptying his paracetamol all over the kitchen side.
I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself.
I'm fairly sure we've had this conversation before, and it sort of concluded with me saying I like Assassin's Creed 4 probably more than other people because I'd never played the others or liked them.
Have you completed it?
Why ask silly questions?
I like 2 the best. There we go, controversial.
Well, Guy actually got his own boat and he sailed off into the sunset and he thought that was the end of the game and he just turned it off. Which was quite awesome. He thought he was a pirate. He thought he completed it. He'd escaped. But Gareth, so what's the main reason that you're just not getting on with it?
In the half an hour I played, literally not a single thing about it grabbed my attention in any way, shape or form, except that guy's got a fit girlfriend. That's my only positive thought in the entire half an hour that I played.
And he doesn't deserve her, Gareth, and he treats her like crap.
Yeah, he just leaves for 2 years. It's like, dude, just stay behind and keep nailing that ginger hottie. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, because, back in the day, she probably done most things. And they're in a little hut. Just stay in there and just do stuff.
Your blubber's useful.
Yeah.
It does start off slow, but it picks up.
It doesn't start off slow, it starts off badly. Badly
the
and assassin
slow.
guy, he runs away until he just stops running away for some reason, and then you just run up to him and press X 4 times and you've killed an assassin.
Well, I've been playing further on in the game. Is that not just what everyone does when they run away? They just run away for a while and then stop.
Because I'm fucking not going to play
But is that
anymore.
not the same as all Assassin's Creed? They run
the
away
thing
and then
is,
just stop.
You've got the assassins in one of the missions, and you're escorting the guy that knows all about the observatory, and they're like, we have to be on our guard because there's assassins around. Suddenly, the assassins all jump out from the roofs and go, ah! And then start getting into sword fights with you. Why not just fucking throw a spear into the guy's face? So they all just jump down as if, we're assassins, what? Yeah, come on, let's have a scuff.
As well. Why would there be so many
them.
assassins groups together? Does that not defeat the Lilo
All it
concept
would
of
take was
assassin?
one of them, a blow dart, the end. But instead they decide to just kind of try and bundle everyone. Which, with Assassin's Creed games, you have to play the game. You have to accept that these things happen. I'm enjoying it, but, I'm only enjoying it because of the basic mechanics, and I enjoy being a pirate because I can't in real life because I'm landlocked. There's no sort of sea around me. Basically, the stealth mechanics are awful.
Yeah.
You'd think that if you stand by a waist-high wooden box or something, guards will see you. You'd think if you're a master assassin, you'd probably, kneel down behind it. But you'll literally just stand there looking at the guards where this bloody little knee-sized box is just in front of you. And that's what I didn't like.
Yeah, you walk into shrubbery and then your guy goes black and white. And then, you see the guard, walks past you, so you're like, right, now's my chance to go and kill him. And he comes out the shrubbery and just stands up and walks up to him. Keep sneaking. You friggin' bellend. Just, nothing about that game is natural in any way, which is fine if
Has
that's
it
what
ever
they're
been?
going for, but they're trying to make it seem like you're a cool assassin, and he just likes to go, no.
No, they're trying to make it seem like you're a cool, badass pirate, which you are.
No, but
Just not at the
every other
beginning.
Assassin's Creed game has had this problem as well.
It says
That's why
assassin
I've
on the
never.
front of the
Literally,
box,
that is
not
why I've never
pirate.
liked Assassin's Creed, but pirates.
Well, I thought I
said this
played
before as
way
well.
more of the first one than this one, because the first one, at least the setting was interesting. But this, straight away, it's there's nothing going on.
You have to wait for it to open up.
Oh, you have to play the shit bit. We had this conversation last
Yeah.
week.
Well, the shit bit's not that
You're,
long.
you're telling him to persist with the game. Is that what you're saying?
Godlike.
Guy, I think that we can safely say that any recommendation from you is just going to be ignored. Really, at the end of the day. Right, so what have I been playing?
Rob, what have you been playing?
Come on, mate.
Well, I've been playing a little bit more of what I like to call Limbo. Thoroughly enjoying it, I am.
Are you completed it? Or?
Not yet. I got stuck, so I'm going to just leave that.
Yeah, just never play that again. That's fine.
Yeah, what's the point in even
guys are
trying?
dicks.
If we were dicks, you'd be sliding down us.
Shaft Master.
Right, so I've been playing Limbo. A bit... Go and find that one.
Oh, guy's a twat.
Multi-kill.
Do you want to say anything, Rory?
Not yet. I've got one saved.
You got one through it.
Yeah, I got.
Is it going to be the one that just ends it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Excellent. You're just waiting there, waiting for the right time to pounce.
Yeah.
Excellent. Be prepared for it, guy, because it's coming. You just don't know when. I've been playing Jet Set Radio, which is one of my favourite games from the past. I especially love the soundtrack.
Dreamcast version?
No, Xbox Live version.
Oh, right, yeah. That makes
which
sense.
isn't too bad. It's only got a few tracks that have been taken out. And Borderlands 2, because
Yay.
basically what happened is I lost all my data around 30 hours.
Oh.
But it's rare for me that I then got on the game again and thought, you know what, I'm not letting that affect me. So I've come up to pretty much where I was when I lost all my data. And, it's a great game. Sometimes it could be a bit unfair. And so I don't know why I like it. I think it's just like the constant reward you get. You keep getting rewarded from Borderlands. Like there's no point where you're not being rewarded for your actions. And, sometimes it can feel a little bit easy, like you're just repeating it. I mean, it's pretty hard to fail because you keep being respawned, and still facing the same kind of enemies. But yeah, I absolutely love it, and I should have played it more when it originally came out. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing this week.
Awesome.
Not too much. Pancake Day, that's all that leaves it. Has anyone eaten pancakes this evening?
Yep.
No.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Guys, getting prepared for a nice thing. And I've got an actual
I'll
really
probably
sad story.
get about halfway through preparing them and then just
give up.
Stop. Yeah.
Or rage quit because you couldn't flip it. Right, so my
I'm gonna
children...
flip in a minute.
Whoa! Right,
Yeah.
so my children, okay. This is a sad story to end the podcast on because I think,
Brilliant.
Guy, you've really put this podcast into disrepute. You've kind of soured the atmosphere and brought a lot of us down of our favourite hobby. So well done for that. And I'd just like to end on this lovely note. I was talking to my daughter on the phone who's 4 years old and I said, darling, would you like to come and see Daddy after school? And she said, but I'm having pancakes with Mummy. And I said, well, darling, I can make pancakes with you. It would be absolutely fantastic. And she said, okay. She was very excited. So she got to my house, found out we didn't have any means of making pancakes. So we went to the local shop and got them batter mixture and stuff. Got home and I realised that I didn't really have a pan that was suitable to make them. And every time I tried to make a pancake, it stuck to the bottom of the pan. She kept looking at me saying, Daddy, I just want a pancake. And I was getting stressed because I couldn't give her the only thing that she wanted, something so simple. I threw it into the sink, the first pancake, made another pancake, and I could see the disappointment in her eyes. And in the end, I just put this, I don't even know what it was. It didn't resemble a pancake. It was like a mashed up piece of crap. Spread a little bit of jam on it. She tasted it and she said, Daddy, I'm sorry, but this doesn't taste very nice. And then her mum came and picked her up. And she was like, oh, hi, Belle, did you have a nice time? Did you have pancakes with Daddy? And she said, no, because they were all ruined.
Oh my god, that's so sad.
So, when I promised my daughter the best pancake day in the world and couldn't even do that right.
Pancake.
Are you trying to make pancakes now?
Are you in an earthquake?
No, I'm building suspense. Basically, Rory, I don't know if you heard that, but Guy just insulted you.
What?
Saying you live along the equator, which is among some of the poorest countries in the world, by saying that you may be being affected right now by an earthquake.
This is right, I am. I'm having an earthquake. Listen.
Hold on.
Boom.
Wow, that was a pretty violent earthquake right there. What did that measure on the Richter scale?
About 15.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Right, so before we close this podcast, Rory, would you like to say the insult to Guy?
Yeah, I haven't really set it up very well, though. I don't know if we can...
Is there anything you want me to say to kind of set it up?
if you could ask me about my console history, that would be brilliant.
Which we probably should have just asked you at the beginning.
Yeah, that would have been easier.
So, Rory, I hear that you're into consoles. Could you tell me a bit about your console history?
Yeah, I started with the Game Boy, the very first one. And then I got given a Sega and a Super Nintendo by my uncle, who grew out of gaming because he's sad.
Yeah.
And then I went on to Nintendo 64 and a Game Boy Color, and then a GameCube, Game Boy Advance.
That's a lot of Nintendo right there.
Yeah, that's a lot. And then a DS, and then an Xbox 360. I've had about 5 of those because they always break. But yeah, and then I bought a PlayStation, not last year, but the year before. But I use that less than guys condoms, so I sold that pretty fast.
That was disappointing.
I know. Sorry,
There was a lot of build up.
It sounded better written down.
You've written them down.
Well, maybe.
Have you just done preparation?
Only
that one.
That one, and that was the worst. So it's better off the cusp.
Rory, I found it was quite good. Like I did enjoy it personally. Anything insulting guys, kind of. I think, but I feel so deflated. You know, Guy has this effect on me. But I'll be back next week, fully revitalised and energised, and full of passion for my favourite hobby. Until then, the first person to kill Guy wins a prize next week, putting a price out on his head, kind of like Batman Arkham Origins. So, excellent. We'll see you next week for more podcasts, more fun, and more chat. And gash.
Frothy gash.
Oh, we didn't do your gash wetness level this week, Gareth. I hope you don't mind.
No, it's alright. I can save it till next week. Just build it up.
Build it up to a nice kind of level.
Just let the gash crustify.
Oh. Then break it open and allow a new stream to break through.
The Gamecentral Podcast.
Monster kill.